All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Russell Factor. I'm Sean, sitting here with the man of the myth, the legend, D-Man. How you doing, dude?
Good, baby. How we doing?
Man, it's Wednesday. Happy hump day, everyone. We're almost to the weekend, and I tell you what, I am so excited. There's a lot of stuff happening. We got some great games. We've got some stuff to talk about today, and I'm ready for this week to be over. I want to go into the weekend, get some pool time in, and just hang out, man.
Yeah, 100%. Perfect day or perfect weekend to go on the lake, huh? It's not going to be
100%.
I heard it's going to be a little cloudy, so not, super sunny, not like 110 degrees or anything. So should be a good time to get out there.
Today was 111. It was super hot today, but sorry we're a little late getting online this evening. We actually attempted to do this earlier, and we have had that whole Murphy's Law today where anything that could happen can happen, and it has happened. And so as a result, we are coming to you now. It's a little late, but better late than never.
Yeah.
Couple of things to talk about. First thing is we're still messing around and toying with different viewing options and things that we're doing each week. Going live certain places and other things and being able to kind of spice up everything. We've got some signs ordered. We've got some design stuff for the studio to make everything look and feel a lot better. But continue to work with us and stand by. We're going to get there. But dude, do you have anything to say to the viewers?
No, man. I mean, other than the fact that it was just a fucking shit show to get that thing going in B-dubs. So, yeah, we're still working through some stuff, guys. I'm just of the mindset I want to create the best content possible for the audience, and I think you're the same way. So, whatever is what we're going to continue to do. We're not going to settle for mediocrity here.
100%, man. The only thing I have left to say is that we're continuing to work on Apollo. It is a massive undertaking, and he is right around the corner. My goal is I don't want to not have him live any later than like the third week of June. No later than the end of June. Yeah. No later than the end of June, that's for sure. But that is a massive undertaking, and it's I want it to be perfect before we bring Apollo into the mix. So,
100%.
Outside of that, I think everything is going smooth. We just hit 600 subscribers this evening. Yeah. We're on day 9. This is the 9th day that we have been on YouTube, and we're at 611 subscribers. So definitely appreciate everyone, and we're going to continue to grow, continue to share, subscribe. All of my friends, my family, my coworkers, everyone that I share this with, I thank you guys so much. But without further ado, I know Dylan, man, you made a couple of comments earlier today. Maybe spice things up a little bit on the podcast. Talk a little something not so much that we talk about. You ready to kick things off?
Yeah, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. I think that's been the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
For a while, and if you've at least been on social media or just not been hiding under a rock, you know that Caitlin Clark's been going through a lot of hate. Maybe not from the association, the WNBA, but the players. What are your thoughts about it? I know a lot of people have opinions about it right now.
Yeah, I first off, I want to say Caitlin Clark has revolutionized what I think about as far as the WNBA. I mean, we've seen a lot of players in the past that have done really great things, but Caitlin Clark, the fact that she took the draft selection that she did, she was brought in, she'd had all this hype that she had to live up to, and she's 120% lived up to everything she was talked about. Yeah. And so first off, hats off to her for stepping into that light and being in that role and not only shining but excelling, right? And on top of that, I I feel like the WNBA and all sports in general, when you're dealing with this, you got a lot of fucking haters out there.
Oh yeah, all the
and
time.
You got, I mean, you could have a great YouTube channel, and someone's going to be sitting there constantly mocking you, or because they're sitting on a keyboard behind a screen that they can't physically be in front of us.
Pretty easy to make fun of someone when you're just like
exactly,
yeah,
right. And so
shit.
she's got a lot of haters.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, she's come out game after game after game. She excels, does what she's supposed to do, and honestly, does this really affect her? I think maybe over time it could, but she's a very resilient player.
She has a good head on her shoulders.
And I think that when, in any shape or form, when you get put in the limelight, whether you're an actor, whether you're a musician, whether you're a pro athlete, you have to be able to take criticism, because you're under the microscope all the time. People could care less about guys like you and I, right? Because we're not in that limelight.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
You have to have thicker skin to live that world. And I think that, could this eventually cause problems? Maybe. But I also think the WNBA needs to nip this in the butt and say, or put something in place, some kind of mitigating factors that help alleviate the stressors and the stupidity that comes from dumbasses out there constantly slamming you. Excuse me. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the WNBA is gonna have to. Caitlin Clark is their biggest asset. She's the moneymaker. She's the one that got them charter, flights. Sorry, Angel Reese, you're a good talent. You're not Caitlin Clark, and they need to do it. They need to make sure all this doesn't affect her. Obviously, not to say Caitlin Clark is gonna let this get in her head. I don't think so.
Yeah.
She has a good head on her shoulders. But they need to make sure that she could be the next, in the women's world, the next Michael Jordan. For all intents and purposes. Because the way she's came out on fire. Like, she's been dropping 20, 25 points.
Fuego.
She's been doing her thing. It seems like she's doing the same thing in the WNBA as she did in college. I truly feel like she could be the best of all time. But the first step is making sure that their greatest asset, Caitlin Clark, is available. Not getting her on these bullshit plays. Let's call it what it is. I forgot her name. Chanel. I don't even remember her name.
Oh, yeah.
But, that's not acceptable. If you have even the greatest college coach of all time, Gino Auriemma, saying that out loud, saying it to the media that, hey, obviously it's not going to be easy for a rookie, but these are plays that are dirty. If he's saying that, come on, what do you think we're all thinking? We're all thinking the same exact thing. This is unacceptable. I don't think the WNBA is gonna. They're not gonna step in right now, but if it continues, they will step in. They should step in.
I agree. Before we move on to the next topic, I just want to say, Caitlin, if you ever get a chance to listen to us, we're big fans of yours. We think you're going to do great things, and keep your head up, because don't let these assholes bring you down, because you're way better than all of them. So, that being said, man, what else was on the plate? What was on the agenda? What do you want to talk about?
Well, and I know we're not ESPN, not yet, but we have to talk about the Lakers.
The Lakers.
Lakers,
Coaching?
Yeah. So, recent reports have come out. JJ Redick, he is at the top of their, hierarchy of, okay, which coach do we want? Mostly because of LeBron James. He wants him. We've seen him on the podcast, JJ's podcast.
Yeah.
We've seen them in other instances. He wants JJ Redick in as their head coach. And it makes sense. He's, played in this league for 10 or so years. He's a high IQ kind of guy. All you need to do is watch him 2-3 minutes of him, and you'll understand, this guy is a very cerebral human being. This guy knows what he's talking about. X and O's kind of guy. And he's a likable guy. I know whatever happened back in the past in Duke, he was seen as his villain. He's a very likable dude. So I think, like I said, we might be seeing something in the next week. But what are your thoughts? Do you think this is a good move, bad move?
I think for the Lakers, this is probably their best move right now, at least in the last 4 weeks that we've seen them searching for a new head coach. I think you hit it on the head when you said he's a high IQ, high talented coach. I think he's shown that. Obviously, he's not a fly by night guy. He didn't come out of nowhere. Yeah. I think that when you have guys like LeBron that are putting their words out there into the atmosphere and saying, this is a great opportunity for the Lakers. I would love to play for this guy. Those things carry a lot of weight. Yeah. And I mean, to have LeBron call you out by name and tell you that he would love to play for you, that's a huge statement. And I think it will be a great fit for them. Who was the other coach that they're looking at?
There's this guy. There's a Charlotte Hornets assistant coach.
Oh, that's right,
James Borrego.
Yeah.
I want to say, maybe I'm butchering his last name, but they're also looking at some other assistants, Sam Cassell. But
that's an interesting one.
He seems like I don't know. I don't think he'd be maybe mediocre. Maybe he's okay. But JJ Redick, you need something different to get that championship. I think JJ Redick is that outside the box, very similar to the Warriors after they fired Mark Jackson. They needed somebody that's innovative, that's something outside the box. And I mean, fuck, they won like 4 championships later with Steve Kerr. I mean, you can't complain with that. But I think they're looking at that same thing. Like, we need a guy that could take us to another championship. I mean, LeBron James is not getting any younger, right?
No. And Bronny James is coming right behind him. So we'll see how that pans out.
I mean, like, because LeBron, let's say he gets what he wants, right? Let's say JJ Redick gets hired. I mean, you got to be a little sad. He's not going to the Suns, right?
So that was going to be my next piece to this is that if JJ does end up taking a head coach job and if it does get offered to him, I personally will be happy because that keeps LeBron at home in LA where he should stay. I know you don't like that because you want him to come to the Suns, but I don't know. I think the Suns are great enough as it stands.
Well, we lost in the first round, so
I know it was brutal. Swept. We got swept.
Yeah, we didn't even win a game. So what are you talking about? We're in a great shape.
I think it was just a bad. I think it was just bad air. I don't think there was anything there was juju and there was all this stuff around it. And I mean, Minnesota came out of nowhere, and they just played lights out. And they destroyed the Suns.
They're crazy.
But it's one of those things. I think that I don't let that rock the thought process behind what the Suns can do this coming up year. That was that. I think it was kind of a fluke. They weren't in sync. There was something weird. It was in the water, man. It was crazy. Since we're talking about basketball, we're talking about coaching and basketball and the Lakers and the Suns. Obviously tomorrow we have biggest starting game of the NBA Finals, Game 1. We got the Celtics and the Mavs. I am definitely stoked for this, and I know we're gonna try at some point to go live a little extra.
It won't be a B-dubs, that's for sure. No, we don't want problems.
I know we're wanting to go live a little extra, a little more than we do currently. Once the NBA Finals start. Let's talk about this game. We got some really interesting lines out there right now. A couple hours ago when we were looking at everything, you've got the Mavs coming in fully rested, no injury. Well, actually, I take that back. I think Luka was day-to-day, but he's supposed to be back by the 6th, and then there was one other one. I forget what it is.
Luka, I'm not worried. Luka will be there. I don't care if he has pneumonia. He will be there.
But we've got the Mavs coming off of a decent rest. We've got the Celtics coming off of a 10-day rest. And I mean, not to sound crazy, but 10 days is a long time to not be actively, aggressively moving forward, especially going into the finals. Yeah. It's almost like they kind of kicked themselves in the ass a little bit by winning so quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I like these lines. These are what I call money-making lines. Yeah. And we've got the Mavs. Excuse me. We've got the Mavs at a plus 205, underdogs, heavy underdogs at that. Boston's at home. They're minus 250 favorited on the line. The over-under was 214.5. And I'm kind of torn on this too because I'm almost afraid that the Mavs come out and they exploit the fact that the Celtics have rested too long, almost over-rested. And if that's the case, I feel like this could be an under game where not a lot of, I don't think they go past that 215 mark, but then I look at it like, this is game 1 of the NBA Finals. This is where the rubber meets the road, and you got to put up or shut up. So I also think they could blow it out of the water, especially both these teams have way surpassed their overs the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'll throw the ball in your court. What do you think, man? Like this is a crazy game. I'm torn on it. What do you think?
Take a loan out, probably from your house, and put all your money in the Mavs winning game 1. Okay, that might be exaggerated, but no, I think the Mavs will win game 1, and you should place a bet, put on a 3 or 4 gamer. Obviously, we have this guy over here to kind of let you know with Apollo, but here's the way I look at it. You hit on a lot of good points, a lot of great points. Celtics 10-day rest, that doesn't bode well. Instantly reminds me of the 2019 NBA Finals when the Warriors played the Raptors. Warriors swept. I forget who they swept. I think they actually swept the Blazers, actually. Or, I don't know. I think it was. And the Raptors played a 6-game series. And then, man, the Raptors blew them out in game 1. The Celtics, I don't know. I can't trust Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for whatever reason. Like, that's cute. You guys run through the Eastern Conference, but it's a whole different beast here against the West. And the Mavs are the champs of the West.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter if it's the Wolves or the Thunder. Yeah, I think the West is just overall top to bottom the best conference. You're not in a way they had a Mickey Mouse run. You know, you beat the Heat without Jimmy B. You beat the Cavs. Darius Garland got injured during that series. You beat the Knicks, the Pacers.
Andy.
Well, heck, if they would play the Knicks, they didn't have Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson got hurt. You beat the Pacers in 4 games, which who cares? Tyrese Halliburton wasn't playing in some of those games.
Halliburton being out definitely hurt. But Indy's still like
they're still good. Don't get me wrong.
It was impressive.
They were
to
hooping.
see that they were hooping. They were balling out. They were balling out.
But that doesn't take away the fact. And I'm only part of me is saying this because I'm a Suns fan. I can't tell you how many people said, "Oh, you guys made it to the finals because LeBron got hurt or AD got hurt," and then they're talking about all these injuries. Like, all right, fine. So I might piss off some Celtics fans, but I don't care. But the point still stands. I think game one doesn't determine if you win the series or not. It's just a game. But I think that Luka will impose his will in game 1. He's got to be super excited that he's going to his first finals. Combine that with 10-day rest, and I think they could just come out on top. I think they'll be super motivated. And the Celtics, they always disappoint on games 1 and 2 for whatever reason. I think
definitely games 2. They have a
they should have
weird
lost.
track
They should
record
have lost
losing
game
games
1.
too.
To be fair to Indy,
Yeah.
they should have lost game 1. And they should have lost game 3. So, I mean, they swept the Pacers They swept the Pacers, but I mean, they should have gone to 6 games. Honestly, because Indy choked.
I like I said, I'm torn on this. I love both sides of this coin. I like Mavs exploiting Celtics, upsetting game 1. Cause I'm a big dog guy. Everyone that knows that I'm a big dog guy. So I love to see dogs win. But at the same time, it's really hard to go against the Green Machine at home when they're like 9 games back to back wins. Like they're on fire. Now, granted, they could have had a little bit of a I don't want to say Cinderella, but what was the term you used a minute ago?
Mickey Mouse run.
Mickey Mouse run. I mean that has a lot of legitimacy. Excuse me, to it. And obviously the Mavs are not going to be a Mickey Mouse run at all. I think with Luka and Kyrie and that entire squad, they're just going to
at least 6. I don't see the Mavs losing in Any less than 6.
Yeah. That being said, let's do this. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty confident you're going to go Mavs. You're saying 6. I feel if, let's set both sides of this coin, if Dallas doesn't come out and upset tomorrow, I see this going tit for tat, home court, game 7, and then we toss a coin and see who shows up and wants it more. I see it going 7 games if Dallas doesn't upset tomorrow. If Dallas upsets tomorrow, absolutely see this probably going 6, because that would be like a big, huge kick in the balls to Tatum and Porzingis and Derek White and these guys of that Celtics team. What do you think?
Yeah, if you're a Celtics player, you'd be damned if you lose again in the NBA Finals. But I think it's gonna happen. So I'm going Mavs in 6. I know you told me earlier going Celtics in 7, but the thing is, it could go to 7. If it goes to 7, anybody can win. I just
Game 7 is. I've seen over the 40 years I've been on this planet. I've seen Game 7s that just like,
but
woo!
But here's the thing.
No idea.
So what you're saying is, if it goes to 7 games, you trust Jason Tatum more than Luka Doncic? Because that's basically what you're saying.
I mean, what I'm saying is, if it goes Game 7, it's whatever team shows up and the hungriest. I mean, Luka. This isn't Jason Tatum's first rodeo, and it's Luka's first time in the finals.
I don't think experience has anything to do with it, though.
Who's hungrier? And I think Luka's very hungry.
I mean, they're both hungry teams. Yeah. It's not like you go on a lie detector test and like, oh, okay, you're not as hungry as the Celtics. What the fuck are you doing here? They're both hungry, so I don't think that's a question. They're both hungry teams. You're not gonna talk to any one player and like, oh, he's not hungry. He doesn't want it. They're both gonna be hungry, but I think it comes down to like, who do I trust more? Jason Tatum has proven time and time again maybe he proves me wrong. Maybe he proves me wrong. I don't think so. I don't think he does.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's our prediction for the Mavs Celtics game. Regardless of how it ends up, hell of a story.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I think we've got 2 weeks ahead of us, assuming everything goes Game 6 or even to Game 7. Yet we've got 7 games in front of us over the next 2 weeks that are just going to be. I'm expecting nothing but great basketball.
Yeah.
But I've said that twice already, and we end up getting kind of the short end of the stick. One being the Thunder and the Mavs series, the other being the Suns being swept, and obviously the Nugs being my choice going to the finals. They didn't perform like I wanted them to. So, needless to say, there you have it, folks. That's predictions from Sean and D-Man for the Celtics and the Mavs. Yep. Where do you want to go from here? What do you want to talk about next?
Well, let's talk about something that just occurred. Baseball related.
Oh.
We'll talk about, one of the players actually got a lifetime ban. to Picata to Marcano. I don't know his first name.
To Capita.
I think it's like Venezuelan or something. I think it's
Venezuelan or Argentinian or something like that.
Something
Salvadorian.
Like
I don't know.
It's not Mexican, that's for sure. But so he got the lifetime ban, but this is not the first time it's happened in professional sports. Just about a month ago, Jonte Porter got the ban in basketball. What are your thoughts about it? Because this is recently becoming trend. Shohei Ohtani, I forgot to mention that too. People can say all they want. The translator, I'm gonna just say it. I think that's just they're full of crap. I think Shohei Ohtani definitely did some sports betting. I think that's full of crap. I think they're just covering his ass because he's the face of the league. Yeah. I think that's just a bunch of baloney.
Yeah.
So with all these things going on, like what's happening? Like what is this something to be like concerned about?
First, let me preface this by saying that we're seeing more people getting caught now, but I don't think this isn't something that's new. Sports betting has been around for a very long time. We've had bookies. We used to have underground sharks. You've had all these different ways you could bet on sports that were frowned upon and even basically illegal. Obviously, with the emergence of DraftKings and FanDuel and these online sports books and stuff like that, it makes it a lot easier. But anytime money makes people do crazy shit.
Yeah.
And whether you have a lot of it or you don't have any of it, it makes you do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Now, my take on this is that I don't think this is nothing new. It's just, I think with the emergence of some of the technologies we have, and obviously I've been in IT security for 24 years. The thing that we focus on as IT security experts is anomalous behavior, right? And having some of the technologies we have out there to look at trends, stats, behaviors, we see a lot more, so people are getting caught more. Now, the thing I don't like about this is that I feel the punishments are not consistent with each other.
Okay.
So, like, where one person who's caught, it might be a referee or it might be a player, one person that's caught betting or throwing games or doing something to hedge their way to putting more money in their pocket, this person may get slapped on the wrist with a suspension, whereas Tucapita, that we just saw, is getting a lifetime ban. I don't think the crime / punishment equation is equal. I'll stop there. I got some other things to say, but I'll throw it back to you. What do you think about that?
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, they're a business. And it doesn't make sense for them to lifetime ban a player like Shohei Ohtani. If you're going to give an example of, hey, fellow like Major League Baseball players, if you're going to fuck up, boom, you get the lifetime ban. You might as well do it to an unknown pitcher that, not going to carry any weight. If you do it to Shohei, it's like, well, damn, that's our face of the league.
Yeah.
So you have to think of like that as crappy as that may sound, that's the truth. They're not going to give the lifetime ban to a really important player like Shohei. But aside from that, this, whether that's the MLB or that's the NBA, they're just trying to protect the integrity of the game. Last thing you want is, all these players sports betting the unders, making 2-3 Gs every time. And it's just not smart. I mean, Tucapita, or I don't know his name, whatever his name is, man. They should have thought of a much easier name to say for our podcast, man.
True.
Yeah. They should have thought about that 26 years ago. Your
parents should have talked to us first before naming you.
For real. They should have known we were gonna make this podcast and talk about it.
I know, right?
But it's all about for them. It's all about protecting the integrity of the game, and yeah, last thing you want is, just to be absolutely corrupt.
I agree, and it makes me sad. You've heard me talk about this before. And being a dad, I have two boys. They're 10 and 11, Aiden and Camden. They pretty much play every sport under the sun, right? And baseball's one of them. Basketball. They're both in football. They're amazing swimmers. They're huge soccer players. So they play everything. So they're constantly busy. But I get upset when I see these things because, as a parent, when we watch. I'm obviously watching the Chiefs and watching the Royals. Those are my two favorite teams. We watch these with our kids, and they grow up sitting right next to us on the couch or whatever, watching these sports, and they look at these guys, these athletes, these pro athletes, and even movie stars and even musicians. They look at these people as role models. And when we see things like this happen, you see a guy get banned for cheating, right? It's like, what message is that sending to a young Dylan, right? That's, little baby D, that's out there somewhere.
That won't be for some years.
But no, the reality is that it makes me sad as a father to see these role model influencers doing these things, and it's just very upsetting, and it just it's very sad. What do you think?
Maybe a little off topic, but do you really think these professional athletes want to be role models?
I mean,
they don't have a choice. They're thrust into this role, and I guarantee you,
but they've spent their whole lives trying to perfect this craft.
They're spending their whole lives to make millions of dollars. I don't really think they really give a crap about some of them. I'm not saying all of them.
I think there's a fame factor to it and a role model.
I think
factor.
some of them don't really care about that. Now, whether that's good or bad, that's a completely different conversation. But I'm just letting you know, I can guarantee you that some players don't really give a crap about being a role model. They're just gonna make their millions, spend their millions, and do whatever they want to do. What do you think?
I don't know. When you say that, I immediately think back to this commercial when I was a teenager that was very, very, very popular. And there's a lot of people that listen to this that are gonna agree with me. It was a Michael Jordan commercial, and there was a little theme song. It's I want to be like Mike.
Yeah.
Right. That was the theme of the commercial, and that's 100% a kid or a young athlete saying I want to be like Michael Jordan. He's my role model, and Michael Jordan has stated multiple times he loved being a role model for kids. You know, that's why he got into some of the movies he did, and obviously playing ball like he did, and he also wanted to make sure his family, his parents, you know, anyone that's ever seen the Jordan movie, people know this, you know, it's like they, you know, he didn't want to struggle, you know, and so I think that I think there are a lot of pro players that consider themselves to be role models. Like, I'm the best at this. You want to be like me, right? But is that everybody? No, not at all. I think there are a lot of players out there that probably, just like you said, want to make their millions, punch the clock, and then go sit on a beach in Cancun drinking Mai Tais or something. But, yeah. Anything else you want to add on that?
No. I mean, you know, main takeaway, sports betting in a league that you're already part of as a professional athlete.
Don't do it.
Not good.
Don't do it.
Not good.
Main
takeaway
for today's episode.
Don't do it.
Don't bet on yourself cheating. Bad.
But you can.
Bad.
But you can do it on our website. Go subscribe to our VIP.
TheRussellFactor.com VIP picks. Go subscribe.
See, that's what you can do.
That's absolutely what you can do.
That's a good segue right there.
I know, right? So since we're talking about athletes and we're talking about kind of being X factor, I guess, you know, as a role model, let's segue into this. The Mavs and Celtics game. What do you think, or who do you think, for both sides? Or one side, whatever you want to do. I'm just throwing this out there. Who do you think is or should be the biggest X factor for this game one, Celtics-Mavs game?
I mean, there's a couple guys that come to mind. You got, I think you got three players. If you're the Mavs, like, okay, we need to have a good series. You got Derek Lively, the rookie, was on concussion protocol. You got PJ Washington. Seems like every possible clutch shot you can take, he was making. And then you got Daniel Gafford, who, man, he's been a beast down low. So you got those three guys that I think weren't even a part of the team, you know, coming into this year. Some of them got traded to the Mavs at the deadline. Derek Lively got drafted by the Mavs this year. So those are guys that I'm looking at. For the Celtics, you really need Porzingis to, you know, step up. You couldn't do it with Luka. You didn't get anywhere with Luka. But now you got to do it with the Celtics. You're in the finals. It's a different kind of beast right here. So, and he hasn't played at all these playoffs. He's got to give me 15 points if they wanna beat the Mavs.
Minimum.
Well, I mean, honestly, he's not gonna score 20 points. I mean, maybe one day he could just chuck up a bunch of threes since, you know, he doesn't really work inside as much. He's just. Like, he's an outside-in kind of guy. He'll start at the three-pointer, and then if the opportunity presents itself, he will, which he does. But I think Porzingis needs to have a decent series.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So, for me, thinking about it, just spitballing in my head, I immediately go to, like, Derek White for the Celtics. Obviously, we've got Jason Tatum, we've got Porzingis. You got these guys that move out on the perimeter. They're awesome three-point shooters. They're amazing basketball players. But I think someone like Derek White, who has the Celtics' highest assist per game average, I think something like this could be a clutch moment where the Celtics, if Derek White shows up and say he gets 8 or 9 assists and he's getting Tatum in the moving transition to the basket or swinging out in the 3-point line and getting an extra couple of threes out there, I think he could be a huge X factor for the Celtics in that aspect. And as far as the Mavs are concerned, I mean, you pretty much nailed that one on the head. I will add to that only because we saw this a couple series back. Luka struggled when they were playing the Thunder.
Yeah.
And he obviously balled out playing the Wolves, but it was just it's that roller coaster, right? And you can't do that now. You absolutely can't. You cannot put a weakness out there and expect the Celtics not to exploit it. So we also need Luka. You need Kyrie, which Kyrie's clutch. He puts up numbers every single game. But
so you're just gonna name every player?
No.
Of course, Luka. Of course, they're gonna have good games.
But what I'm saying is there's no room for error.
Yeah.
There's no room for error, and unfortunately, for the Thunder, Luka still was able to make corrections in his games and got where he needed to go, and that bench also helped out. That bench for the Mavs helped out a ton. But my point is that Luka has to be clutch. He has to come through 120%. He can't not put down shots, and I think that's going to be a huge factor for this Mavs team going into the Celtics. But I think, like I said before, it's going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a great series. I'm hoping and expecting great basketball. So what do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think at the end of the day, whether you want to say Mavs, Celtics, it's going to be a great series. It's going to be a great fucking series. I want it to go back and forth.
Me too. Yeah. I don't want it to end in, I don't want it to be a sweep by any means, and I don't see that happening on either side. I think we got two behemoths of teams going to be playing against each other, but I don't see that happening. But hell, I didn't see the Suns getting swept in 4 either.
Yeah.
But
you just never know. But
and it's like who shows up, who plays, who's got that appetite.
Everyone wants a great series except the Mavs and Celtics. They want each of their teams to sweep the other team. So, but the rest of us, we just want a good series. I just want to be entertained, and yeah, hopefully we get a couple of
Obviously,
games.
we want a great series too because it gives us content to talk about. So you guys can watch.
It wouldn't be any fun if it was 150 to 100. Like, well, they suck.
Ooh, yeah,
no
bueno.
Our talks would be probably last like 30 seconds.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
That being said, anything else you want to throw out there? We covered a lot of stuff tonight. Obviously, we'll talk. We've got Game 1 of the finals starting tomorrow, which is going to be exciting. And then Saturday, we have Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, which is going to be fantastic. We've got the Panthers and the Oilers on that one there. So we'll cover that more on Friday's podcast with some predictions and some lines and some betting guidance for you guys. But as far as today, man, I feel pretty good. But you got anything else you want to say to the viewers?
No. Share with your friends if they're love watching, talking, betting on sports. Share it with them, and obviously subscribe if you like what we're talking about. But yeah. What anything else?
I couldn't agree more. Just want to say thanks again for everyone helping us skyrocket 9 days, 600 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I know we kind of chuckled about it on Monday's podcast, and I was talking about it with some friends of mine this morning, and there was a YouTube video that popped up on my phone on Monday, and it made me kind of chuckle because it said, I can teach you how to get 500 subscribers in a month.
That's cute.
And I was like, damn, we're already at 500 subscribers in literally 7 days.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty awesome. But we wouldn't be here without y'all. And like I say every week, we love what we do. We truly love what we talk about, and we're very passionate about it. So continue to grow with us, please. We're excited. At some point, we would like to be doing 2, 3, 4 hour segments where we're going live for 4 hours and just talking. Obviously, we're not there, but we will get there. Hopefully, you guys grow with us. So, that being said, happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your week. We will see you Friday. And until then, hope you guys all stay safe. Anything else?
No. See you later, guys.
See ya.